Have you ever found yourself in a toxic relationship? In particular, you find yourself constantly dealing with someone who keeps gaslighting and controlling you. Well, it's likely that you're dealing with a narcissist. And in this video, we're going to reveal the top 5 traps narcissists use to keep you trapped so they can continue manipulating you. Whether it's a partner, friend, or family member, these narcissists can cause serious damage to your mental and emotional well-being. But fear not, because you can stop being trapped and start living your life the way you want to, once you figure out how they've been manipulating you. Number 1, they make you feel guilty. A narcissist often purposely presents themselves as vulnerable, insecure, and socially anxious. They tend to play the victim who's constantly needing to be rescued. This can make you feel guilty and think thoughts like, "I'm not a bad person. I care about others. How can I just abandon someone who's struggling?" But the thing is, they're always in some kind of crisis, making it seem like there's never a good time for you to walk away from them. You end up not leaving at all due to the guilt at the idea of abandoning them. When dealing with a narcissist, it's important to see their victim behavior for what it really is, which is a tool for manipulation. They might say things like, "Nothing ever goes my way. Life's so unfair to me." Or even, "Who would want to be with someone like me?" But this self-pity isn't just about insecurity. It's actually a way to keep you emotionally hooked. What do we mean? Narcissists have some pretty interesting ways of manipulating people, sometimes even putting themselves down to keep someone from leaving. They might say something like, "If you leave me, who else would want me?" It's second nature for them to act like the victim, someone who's sullen, resentful, angry, and full of self-pity just to make you stay. The sad part is, narcissists often attract people who feel drawn to helping others. These rescuers might see the narcissist as a poor, unlucky person who needs saving. The tricky part is helping rescuers realize that while their kindness is amazing, it shouldn't come at the expense of their own well-being. After all, narcissists are masters at pulling on their empathy and compassion for selfish reasons. Number 2, they make you fear the idea of starting over. When you're in a relationship with a narcissist, fear often becomes the biggest weapon they can use against you. They capitalize your fear of being alone, managing life on your own, starting over, or even the fear of being wrong about your decision to leave, just so you'll stay in a toxic relationship with them. They'll make you ask questions like, "What if they really do change if I stay? What if I'm making a mistake by planning to leave? What will happen in 6 months if I wait things out?" Such questions can take over your thoughts, making you second-guess your decision to leave. If you're thinking about leaving, those fears don't just disappear in a snap. They pile up with feelings of self-doubt, shame, and the worry that you're making the wrong choice. You might even feel foolish, like you're about to mess everything up. And it doesn't help when enablers, or the narcissists themselves, add to the doubt with comments like, "Are you sure you know what you're doing?" It just makes an already tough decision feel even harder. Narcissistic abuse can really tear down your sense of self, leaving you feeling inadequate and filled with self-doubt. Their victims often end up questioning their own worth, thinking, "Who else would want me?" Narcissists know this and use it to their advantage, which is why they'll keep saying things like, "Who else will have you?" to make you afraid of the idea of getting away from them. Even after you leave, the challenge isn't over. Narcissists almost never let go easily because they thrive on manipulation and the thrill of the chase. For instance, if you manage to get out, they'll often try to pull you back in by preying on your fears and insecurities to regain control. They'll make you feel that you need them. Otherwise, you won't survive in this cruel world. Of course, that's not true. By the way, make sure to subscribe if you've learned something new today. Number 3, they make you feel you're leaving your comfort zone. We tend to stick with what feels familiar, even if it's harmful or traumatic. It's just human nature. That's why trauma bonding happens so often in relationships with narcissists. Think about it. Ever feel like you're having the same argument over and over? It's toxic, sure, but it also feels familiar. And somehow, that familiarity can be oddly comforting. That's what a trauma bond does. It keeps you stuck in the toxic cycle, making it way harder for you to leave the narcissist, even when you know it's not good for you. The thing is, trauma bonding has a way of feeling deeply instinctive. It's like you're drawn to the narcissistic relationship because it somehow feels familiar, almost like the dynamic you might have had with an invalidating parent, for example. So, you might catch yourself thinking, I enjoy being in this relationship because it reminds me of my mom, who keeps invalidating my feelings. Even though I can't really explain why, our dynamic almost feels magical and comforting. That's the tricky part. In trauma-bonded relationships, that familiarity can feel oddly comforting. Think about going back to your hometown. Even if you never want to move back because of a traumatic experience, there's something comforting about knowing the streets, the landmarks, the vibe of the place. Relationships with a narcissist can feel the same way. You're drawn to what feels familiar, and the narcissist will use that to their advantage. Number 4, they make you feel hopeful. Hope's a good thing, right? Well, not always, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. Because here's the thing, their victims often hold on to the hope that things will get better. That's why it's easy for them to think, maybe if I wait another year, things will change. Or maybe when they get that promotion or start making more money, they'll treat me better. No matter what horrors they're experiencing because of the narcissist, the idea of things eventually changing gives them hope. And they cling so hard to that idea. But here's the hard truth. That hope is often manipulated by the narcissist to keep you stuck and focused on a future that's never going to happen. So, you're constantly lowering your expectations with them and convincing yourself to wait it out. Things are bound to get better if you stick with them, right? Well, they're doing the same, but in their own way. For instance, they keep saying promises like, just give me another year and things will improve between us. So, you hold on to that promise. Once that date arrives and nothing has changed, you just tell yourself to still wait it out. They promised, after all, so they're bound to fulfill it eventually, right? But let's be honest, nothing will change. The promises are hollow, and the cycle just repeats until you end it. Narcissists often use the phrase, "It's never going to happen again," to pull you back in, especially once they sense you've started doubting their promises. Now, saying that phrase sounds like they're owning up to their mistakes, right? It then gives you hope that maybe, just maybe, things will be different this time. But here's the hard truth. It's not about real change. What they're really saying is, you're not important enough for me to actually change right now. So, they're not really taking responsibility for their actions. They're just manipulating your hope to keep you stuck in the toxic cycle with them. And if you liked this video, then check out these related videos to see more. And make sure to subscribe and leave a comment saying I subscribed, and we will personally reply to